The Communication Stones. Created by the ancients 50 million years ago in their original home galaxy, they allowed users of the stones to see through each other's eyes. When the stones were loose and in possession of two people, if not disconnected correctly, they would link those people's minds together, letting them see events through brief visions. If 3 people hold the stones in close proximity, only 2 will be linked together, as this must be done so manually by the use of a terminal. When paired with this ancient communication terminal, the stones allow its users to temporarily swap bodies. This can only be done by using a communication terminal, as the complex nature of one's mind cannot be calculated by a set of stones alone. The communication terminal creates a subspace signal, similar to the Stargate wormholes, and connects to another terminal or set of stones elsewhere in the galaxy, or in some cases, elsewhere in the local cluster of galaxies. A stone that is disconnected from a terminal on one end can still be used to link people together, but both stones being on a terminal creates a much more stable connection, especially when using the stones between galaxies. Whenever a Stargate has to connect between galaxies, it needs a tremendous amount of power to do so. The communication terminal does not need anywhere close to the amount needed for a stable wormhole, as it is broadcasting the user's mind across a much simpler subspace connection, rather than creating a complex matter stream.
Now hold on, this device draws its power directly from subspace.
The stones were first discovered by SG-1 on P3R233, the same planet where they found the quantum mirror that allowed multiversal travel. It is unknown where the inhabitants got the stones from, but it may have been from an undiscovered ancient outpost. A duplicate stone that was left on Earth by the ancients and passed down throughout the centuries found its way to a garage sale and was picked up by a man named Joe. This linked Joe with the mind of Colonel Jack O'Neill, as Joe was the last one to touch his stone and Jack was the last to touch the one in the SGC found on P3R233, causing the stones to initialize and connect their minds. Joe used this ability to write a series of stories based off of SG-1's adventures, thinking that they were simply from his imagination, while Jack used his visions in order to relax, as he thought he was imagining the simple life of a small-town barber. Daniel and Vala were next to use the stones, with their minds being sent to the Alteran home galaxy. The swap was one-sided, with the 2 citizens that were linked to their set of stones not taking control of Daniel and Vala's bodies. The way that stone connections usually work is both stones have to be connected to their terminals to form a mind swap connection, which wasn't the case when Daniel and Vala went to the Alteran home galaxy. It's possible that the Alteran couple, at some point in the past few years, connected the stones into the terminal and did not remove them properly without resetting the link, causing the stones to enter a strange state. A similar thing happened to the Destiny crew when the Nakai aliens gained access to the stone network. So when Daniel and Vala initially placed the stones on their terminal, nothing should have happened if the stones were working as they should be. Due to the glitch, it allowed a one-sided connection which shouldn't be possible. This could also be why the stone terminal wouldn't allow the stones to be removed by hand, as removing them may have killed both users. When they placed the Alteran set of stones onto its terminal, it caused the one-sided connection to collapse. Daniel and Vala then briefly wake up in the SGC, and Daniel warns the Doctor about the forthcoming of the Priors and the Ori. The terminal would then force a correction update to occur, syncing the stones once again and reforming the connection until the Prior noticed what was going on and forced the Alteran terminal to shut down, causing Daniel and Vala to remain in the Alteran galaxy body. One of the drawbacks to using the stones is that if one person dies while connected, both die. When Daniel and Vala are being sacrificed, their bodies begin to shake violently, and them, along with the Alteran couple, would have been killed if it were not for Cameron Mitchell's idea to destroy the Earth terminal using the Kawoosh, cutting the stone connection on Daniel and Vala's end, allowing the pair to return to their bodies. There is an exception to this rule, as in the Pegasus galaxy, the stones there were described as such. When a person dies while using the stones found in the Pegasus galaxy, then the other user will become trapped inside the opposite user's body, as their original body was killed. I'm not sure why it's different with these set of stones, but they are in Pegasus, so the stones could be an updated model that do not kill both users of a stone connection. In this case, only one side of the stones were connected to a terminal, with the other set simply laying initialized in a box on Atlantis. Dr. Keller was the last to touch the Atlantis stone, with the opposite user placing her initialized stone on a terminal. This shouldn't have linked the two, as only one side was connected to a terminal, but it may be a similar situation to what happened to Daniel and Vala with the stones on Atlantis laying initialized and connected to the opposite terminal for thousands of years until they were relinked to Dr. Keller, as once again the stones could not be removed by hand. When the Icarus crew were forced to board Destiny, they brought with them a set of communication stones, possibly from Atlantis after it landed back on Earth. The stones were accompanied by a Tauri-built terminal, which was a scaled-down version that housed parts from a standard stone terminal. Due to it being Tauri-built, the device can't be flawless in its design and may be causing another stone glitch that we are unaware of. Using the stones under controlled conditions is perfectly safe, but the sheer distance that Destiny is away from the Milky Way makes it extremely difficult to know if the opposite situation is safe to swap into. When using the stones on Destiny, an FTL jump will temporarily sever a connection until the ship stabilises. The stones continue to work in FTL, as Destiny is still inside of normal space when travelling faster than light, while all other ships use hyperspace, which would not allow a stone connection to be made mid-flight due to the journey occurring outside of normal space. The stones were used to maintain regular contact with Homeworld Command, which was a new branch within the Pentagon, in order to give Earth updates on the crew's well-being, talk to loved ones back home, and allow personnel from Earth to visit Destiny. Destiny is an unknowable amount of galaxies away from Earth, so it's an absolute miracle that the stones work as flawlessly as they do. They are without a doubt the strongest subspace beacons ever seen in the Stargate universe.